50 Cent just sent shockwaves to the hip-hop and entertainment world by making a move that no one saw coming, shutting down the BMF project entirely and replacing it with a new one focused on exposing Big Meech as a snitch and a traitor. This decision comes on the heels of the bombshell revelation that both Big Meech and his son, Lil Meech, joined Rick Ross's MMG, a move that 50 saw as the ultimate betrayal. For years, 50 Cent has been the driving force behind the BMF TV series, turning it into a massive success and making sure the world knew the story of the legendary Black Mafia family. But now, with Meech aligning himself with Ross, one of 50's biggest enemies, things have changed drastically. And when 50 feels disrespected, he doesn't just respond, he completely flips the script. So now, instead of continuing to glorify the BMF legacy, he's about to tear it down with a new project aimed at exposing what he calls the real story behind Big Meech. This decision isn't just business, it's personal, and the fallout from this is about to be massive. Let's break down everything that led to this moment, how 50 Cent reacted, and what happens next in this war that just got even more brutal. To understand why this is such a huge deal, we need to go back to the foundation of BMF and 50 Cent's involvement in telling its story. When the show was first announced, it was seen as a major win for both 50 and Big Meech. 50 had already established himself as a powerhouse in television with Power and Power Book 2, Ghost, and bringing the story of BMF to life was another notch in his belt. Meanwhile, for Big Meech, this was a chance to control the narrative of his legacy, making sure the world saw him as a kingpin, not just a convicted criminal. But now, things have taken a dark turn. The moment Big Meech and Lil Meech aligned themselves with Rick Ross, they crossed a line that 50 Cent wasn't willing to forgive. And let's be clear, this wasn't just some casual business deal. This was a direct slap in the face to 50, who had been putting money in Meech's pockets, helping his son become a star, and using his influence to keep the BMF name alive. So for Meech to turn around and join forces with Ross, a man who 50 has been at war with for over a decade, wasn't just a bad business move. It was an act of war. Now, let's talk about how 50 reacted, because when 50 Cent feels played, he doesn't just let things slide. He makes sure his enemies pay the ultimate price. And in this case, that means completely shutting down the BMF show. Think about what that means. One of the biggest TV projects of the past few years, a series that had millions of fans, is now gone. Just like that. And it's all because 50 wants to send a message. If you betray him, he will destroy everything you built, even if he helped you build it in the first place. But that's just the beginning. Not only is BMF over, but 50 is replacing it with a brand new project. One that tells a very different version of the story. Instead of glorifying Big Meech and the Black Mafia family, this new project is set to expose him as a snitch and a traitor. And knowing 50, he's not going to pull any punches. He's going to dig deep, bringing out paperwork, interviews, and first-hand accounts to paint a picture of Meech that the world has never seen before. This move is going to shake the streets, the industry, and the entire culture. Because for years, Big Meech has been seen as one of the last real ones, a figure who stayed solid despite facing decades behind bars. But if 50 Cent has his way, that perception is about to change. And once 50 puts something out there, it sticks. Just look at what he did to Ja Rule, one calculated attack, and Ja's career was never the same again. The real question now is, how will Big Meech and Lil Meech respond? So far, Lil Meech has been relatively quiet, but that won't last long. He has too much at stake. His entire career has been built off the BMF brand. And if 50 Cent turns that brand into something toxic, Lil Meech is going to suffer the consequences. He may try to defend his father, deny the allegations, or even fire back at 50. But history has shown that going against 50 Cent never ends well. As for Big Meech, his options are even more limited. He's still locked up, which means he can't control the narrative the way he once could. If 50 starts dropping receipts, there's not much Meech can do to stop it. He could try to have people in his circle speak out on his behalf. But will that be enough to counter the machine that 50 is about to unleash? And what about Rick Ross? He played a key role in all of this, and now he's sitting in the middle of a firestorm. 50 Cent's decision to shut down BMF and expose